Hello, and welcome to Girls, Gays, and Animes, where it is safe to love what you love and love who you love. I am your host, Valzaraptor, and I love both cutie and creepy mangas. I'm here with my co-host, T.
Hi, I'm T, and I love when the sun is setting and the trees look black and the sky behind it is very pretty colors. It's my favorite.
That is both cutie and creepy as well, because I do believe that that is one of the most dangerous times, aka the most deadly times, to be driving. So it is beautiful but deadly, which very similar to the kind of mangas that I like, which is great. So today, speaking of manga, our main topic is going to be going through some of our favorites or some of our like TBR slash most recent reads in manga, specifically focused around romance, pseudo-romance related. Would you agree? That's kind of like the overarching. Well, there's like some slice of life maybe in there.
There's some slice of life, some creepy, like just generally creepy, like
Yeah. So
you said.
creepy or romance.
That's what you get today.
And maybe one creepy romance actually.
We got a mix here.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna kick it off with the creepy romance. I don't. Again, it's one of those ones where is it a romance? Is it not a romance? I don't know. This is the summer Hikaru died. So there is currently 3 volumes out of this. T, you have this one as well, right?
Yes, I do. I just
Woo!
read this recently.
So this one has been slowly coming out. I just got the 3rd one during the Barnes & Noble sale recently. That was like the BOGO 50% off at Barnes. I got the 3rd one, so I recently read it. I was originally baited into reading this, and we all get baited into, like, that's how you find things. I think I found this one on TikTok. I was baited on TikTok, much like I'm sure a lot of folks will be when I clip this into shorts. So I was baited into reading this because on TikTok I heard someone talking about how it's like a pseudo BL, but it's like a BL kind of like maybe in the way that like sports animes are BL, where it's like, do they like each other? Do they not? Like, is it just a really close friend? I don't know. But the premise is that these 2 schoolboys, they live in like a haunted countryside, and there's like a creepy forest that they live next to, and one of the boys goes into the forest. He goes missing for a couple of weeks. They call him, and then he shows up again, and he was like hanging out with his friend, and his friend's like, "You're not actually Hikaru. Who are you?" But he's like, his body's possessed by this, like, we don't really know. And I'm on the 3rd one, respectfully, and I still don't really know. But I'll
None
show.
of this is spoilers. This happens literally within the first 10 pages.
Okay, yeah. So like I'm opening the book. There's this many pages that I'm passing, right? And it's like right here, like, so you can see my man's face is clearly not alive in the traditional sense. So yeah, he's like talking here. It's creepy. It reminds me kind of Junji Ito a little bit. It's like stylistically, like it remains the same throughout the series of just this like guy, but he's like, "I'm supposed to be a perfect copy. How did you notice?" It's really, I really like it. Even if it doesn't turn out to be a BL, I'm going to continue to read it because I really like it. But like, look at how like creepy this is.
That was one of my favorite parts in the first volume. I haven't read the other ones. I've only read the first one, but definitely going to keep reading them because of how interesting I found this first one.
Yeah, so when I talk about how, my camera's a little off focus because of what I've been showing here, but when I talk about it, it's like here on this panel, he's like, "I can't help my feelings. I know it isn't right, but I still like you. But we don't know yet if it's like you as a friend or if we like you." And the other piece that I also like about it is we don't know, whatever's inhabiting this kid's body, we don't know how much of it is like its feelings versus the feelings it inherited by occupying his body. So from this point, we're like maybe assuming that the boy before he died had feelings for his friend. and now this monster that's inhabiting him is like gaining this kid's memories and his old feelings that he used to have. And it's like, okay, shoot, like it's kind of sad in the way like, oh, this boy liked this other boy and then he died, but now there's this monster who thinks that he likes him, but is it just the other dude's feelings? I will say it gets, I won't say it gets spookier, but like the lore around like kind of this town gets built up when you get into the later volumes. So, and that's kind of, it took me to the third volume to finally get to like, they're talking about more people in the town and like how they're maybe affected by living in the town. So
And they do kind of mention at the end of the first volume, not to give like major spoilers or anything, but the best friend of Hikaru, he ends up communicating with somebody else in the town that's kind of aware of what's going on between the two boys, and it's kind of mentioning their own background knowledge of a personal experience. So there's like, they're setting the seeds of it, at least in the first one. Nothing too in-depth or anything, but it's coming there.
Yeah, should I read the back of this one? I feel like it's like kind of loose. I mean, it's not anything that we haven't said, but okay. So the back of the manga, like the kind of like how they get you, right? It has Hikaru's face, it has Hikaru's voice, it even has Hikaru's memories. But whatever came down from the mountain 6 months ago isn't Yoshiki's best friend. Whatever it is, it's dangerous, carrying on at school and hanging out as if nothing has changed, as if Hikaru isn't gone. Would be crazy, but when it looks very like Hikaru, acts very like Hikaru, and then it goes ... and that it cuts off there. So it kind of is like, you know, what's actually happening. And again, like, we know early on that it isn't Hikaru, but we don't know what it is, where it came from, why it's there, what are the other implications of it yet. We don't know any of that. And again, I'm on the third manga, which is the latest one that came out, and I don't know. And I think there's a fourth one that's out in Japan. It just hasn't been translated yet.
Yeah, I think so, because I remember I was checking on Goodreads and I saw a good number of them out already.
Yeah, so this is definitely one of my favorite newer reads. I anxiously await for the new ones to come out for this one. It's really good.
Yeah, and I can't remember where I saw, like, which TikTok I saw, but that's where I saw it too. And I've been meaning to buy this. I don't know. We might have sent it to each other, one of those, but it was like months and months and months ago, and I've been meaning to get it. And I got my most recent haul in the Crunchyroll sale, and I was like, oh, I remember. I wanted this real bad, so I bought that one.
Sick. Yeah, it's one of those ones where it's like, this is going to be one that, and I know we talked about your like rating scale before. Based on what I've read for this one, it's like a 5, to where it's like if someone I know like kind of likes creepy stuff, even a little bit, like this is a full recommend for me.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
Honestly, even if like, I would say if someone likes like a JJK or like a Chainsaw Man, but like myself also dabbles in like BL, this is a full on recommend. Where I wouldn't say that someone has to love Junji Ito to like this. If you do like Junji Ito, you'll like it, but you don't have to like Junji to like this.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like it's got the creepy elements, but it's not so much in Junji Ito's style that you kind of like forget that this isn't one of his, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And also, like you said, there's implications of a potential romance, but it's not the front and center of the manga, so it's not going to add or take away anything, at least from what I've read so far. I can't vouch for anything beyond the first volume.
I would absolutely
thinking
agree.
This is going to be scary, and then all of a sudden it's cutesy and romancy. I don't think it's going there by any means.
No, but it's got me curious. I'm hooked. And even though I stole one that you did, do you want to go next?
Yeah. I am going to continue with the creepy cute factor, and these are like a twofer. Because they both are from the Ring series. They're from 2 different authors, and they're like 2 completely different stories. The first one I'm going to talk about is Sadako-san and Sadako-chan. So in this version, there is this little girl who's Sadako-chan, and her mother was obsessed with the story of the Ringu and everything from that. And her mother is convinced that she is the reincarnation of the original Sadako. So one day, I can't remember quite how.
So she thinks that she gave birth to the reincarnation of the...
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
And so the mom kind of has her, like, all by herself. She, like, basically lives in their closet in their house and can't leave. Like, she's like, oh, I have to keep you safe. You're so special and important. And,
Wait, the mom keeps the little girl in the closet? Okay. All right.
There's, like, if you can see, there's, like, chains on the closet that break when Sadako comes. So big Sadako comes because little Sadako watches the video.
Okay.
And she's like, oh, I'm here to do my job. Got to do some killing. And then the little girl is like, oh, you're the real Sadako-chan. My mom thinks I'm Sadako-chan. We should differentiate. I'll be Chan and you can be San. And they kind of form this really weird, unlikely friendship. And the big Sadako explains, like, her whole ordeal and everything. And
she's like, okay, here's the bit.
Oh. Yeah, and she's like, oh, so why don't we become YouTubers and then you can spread your video to the masses? So they advertise these videos as, like, creepy, scary YouTube things, but they're, like, doing each other's hair.
Wait,
and, they're
in the
called,
YouTube video, they're doing each other's hair? Okay. Oh,
yeah,
oh my God.
Here's a cursed video, and here's, like, our newest member is this bear.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
And they become friends with this guy who's also a YouTuber, and he, like, they con him into helping them with their YouTube videos. And they do this because the larger Sadako, she shows up and she's like, if you don't help me be a really good YouTuber, I'm gonna curse you and kill you.
I mean...
And that's... And she counts him as a friend, even though she, like, threatens him. But this is a single volume, and this is a good mixture of, like, comedy and some scary stuff. I wouldn't say it's nothing like the first manga that we talked about. It's definitely not that level of scary.
Right.
But it has, like, creepy panels and stuff, and the larger Sadako doesn't know how to not be herself. So, like, she shows up at his house, and she's, like, doing the creepy thing with the hair.
Yeah, the creepy hair
just
thing.
Like, I need help!
Typical Ring creepy hair thing.
Yeah, but she shows up, and she's like, hey, buddy, I just need some help with something. But she's got to do, like, the hair.
She's got to.
She's got to do it. So there was that one. And then...
Okay, wait, so sorry. That was that a one-off, or do you only have the first volume?
This is a one-off, unless I am completely incorrect. By all means, I'm going to double-check. Yeah, this is... Oh, this is so cute. It's like a full art of both of them.
Cutie creepy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these both are one-offs.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because I remember when I looked them up, both the authors, because I really liked this one, and I wanted to see if there was more, and I was like, that's weird. I'm going to double-check, but I'm pretty sure both of them are just one-offs. So this one is Sadako at the End of the World.
Okay.
And I didn't like this one as much. It kind of had an issue, in my opinion, with deciding what it wanted to be. It had some really creepy moments, but then it didn't commit to the rules that it had established. So these two girls, and I don't remember their names off the top of my head, but honestly, they were kind of forgettable. They end up watching Sadako's video, and she shows up to, you know, do her thing, 7 days and everything, and she's like, wow, I haven't been summoned in a really long time. I wonder what happened. Turns out that there was, like, some kind of apocalypse, and these girls happened to find her video, and she shows up as she does, and they're like, oh, is this how it worked in the past? Like, if I watch a cowboy video, is a cowboy gonna come out? We gotta find more videos. And she's like, okay, well, I gotta do my job, but I guess I'll hang out with them. Okay. And so she goes on this adventure with them and everything, and they run into various people, and, like, at some point they leave the area they're in, and semi-spoiler, they do run into another person on their adventure, and they were like, oh, we thought we were the only two people. Maybe there's other people out there. So the whole point of the rest of the book is them going out trying to find, like, other people. But they're really
Sadako.
fast and loose. Yeah. They're really fast and loose with the rules that they established with her. Like, you know, the 7 days gotta kill somebody. but they run into somebody, and as soon as they leave, she goes back and kills them. And it hasn't been 7 days for them, but then she goes back to the girls and hangs out with them some more. It's like really back and forth on what it wants to be. And I liked the art. The art was cute, and it did have like some like semi creepy moments. Like here's another ghost that they run into.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, but it's not as creepy. Oh, and Sadako, she can't talk, so she has like a little whiteboard that she writes to them with, and that's how she talks to them. And there's like some comedy where they run into like a hairstylist, and
it's giving.
He's like, "Hey, can I give you bangs?" No, don't.
Oh, it's giving someone once explained to someone else what the ring was, and then they wrote a whole manga about the character.
Yeah, like, and I don't want to like badmouth them or anything.
No, I mean, I think it's a cute concept, and maybe it's one of those things where it's like loosely based on like the ring, and
they like. I love this. It's all three of the girls in the well. They find.
Oh
the
my
well.
God.
So it was. The other one I would rate higher, but that one was also like, you know, a one shot. That's the other thing that bothered me. This was a one shot.
Oh, okay.
Like they're at the end of the world, and I was really interested to find out like what the apocalypse was, if there were a lot more people left, like what was going on, and you don't get to find out any of that.
I was just about to ask that, like if there was like this satisfying. No.
That was the other thing. It was like a really unsatisfying ending, and I was like, oh, okay, thanks.
Great job convincing us to read that one, T. Love it. Just kidding.
You're so welcome, Yay. I mean, you know, you do what you do with your free time. I'm not here to police that.
Okay, so I'm trying to decide which one I want to talk about next. And I think I told you, but like when we decided we were going to do this, I basically have a wall behind me that like holds like single volumes of manga, and what I had done previously was I was like, I really like certain volumes, like the ones that I really love, and I don't mind if people see that I've read, I put them on display. And so then we're like, oh, we'll talk about mangas in an episode, and I was like, oh, which ones am I gonna pick? And then I like go to my little recording closet area, and I'm like, oh, I know, I'll just pick from my wall. And so now I'm gonna, okay, which one do I want to do next? I'm probably gonna do this one, I think. Yeah. Okay. So next I've got for my pick The Girl with the Senpaku Eyes. This manga is incredibly cute. I'll read the back. Meet Amane Mizuno. She's a girl with fierce senpaku eyes, a soft and pure heart, and she has fallen for a boy named Kato who has the exact opposite attitude. Will Amane ever be able to tell him how she feels? And it's super cute because she's got, if you're not aware, so the senpaku eyes are basically like she just looks angry all the time. So in the first couple of pages, like you can see like her grumpy face. And the other cool thing about this one is it's like it's colored, but it's not like a full color like a webtoon. It's colored in like more like beigey, orangey colors, and like there's like some pink undertones, and so it's like a vibe, like it's colored like a total vibe. But like, so you see her grumpy face in the first one, and then like the very next page, she's like all blushing and like, oh my God, I can't believe I actually said hi to him. I can't believe he responded to me. And she's like blushing, and she's got two girl best friends who are obsessed with how cute she is. And it's the kind of friends that every like person really deserves. And so like you can see on this panel, like she's like telling her friends what's happened, she's blushing, and then her friends are like, oh my God, she's so cute, look at her blush, we're obsessed. And
the whole manga is colored like that, right?
Yes.
Like, it's not just a couple
pages.
No,
so it's like the whole manga is like colored, and I've got up through volume 4. It's been a slow release, I'll say, because it is in color, right? Like normally mangas will come out quicker. They're all black and white. This one has taken longer to come out because it is in color. This is probably the most colored page I've seen. There's like blue tones on it as well.
Yeah.
And then in one of the releases, either at the end of the third or the end of the fourth, the author kind of talks about like, you know, she's appreciative that people are so understanding of how long it's taking her to put these out just because of the color aspect of it. I hope the mangaka sticks with it, because I like that it's color, and I think it's worth the wait. Again, it's one of those ones where it's like I can pick this up after not reading it for months and like kind of remember where I was, or just remember a couple of the last few pages, and I'm good to go. Oh, here's another cute picture. This is like right before the side story. There's her two friends, and they're like making a heart with their arms, and they both just say, "We both love Amane." Like, they're obsessed with her, and I'm here for it. It's so incredibly cute. But the story is, like at the beginning mentioned, about just this girl with angry eyes who's actually secretly adorable, and how she, talks to her crush, and how she like and her crush like start going out and stuff like that, and it's just really cute. It's rated 13. I don't even know why it's rated that high, because honestly it's pretty clean. It's innocent, I would say. Really cute. I really like this one. This is another one that like I will lend out to people without fear of them judging me for reading something. Because like there's some things you read, like I'll talk about something later where I'm like, I might be nervous to let someone know that I read this.
Yeah.
But not this one. This one I'm like, yeah, the internet, I read this one, and I recommend you read it too.
All right. My next pick is My New Life as a Cat, Volume 1.
Okay,
And
I've seen
all
this
of
one.
mine
I've seen
are
this one like
volume
at
ones.
Barnes and Noble, and I was like, I personally have like a couple different cat mangas. Like I have one that's called Creepy Cat, which is the epitome of cute and creep.
Cute!
And then I have another one that's just like living with a cat, and I also bought a third book recently that was Junji Ito's like cat story of like how
that's
he
fun.
acquired a cat, and so I was like, I'm not sure if this is like that same kind of like cat vibe, but I was excited to
Yeah.
hear about it.
Yeah, and I don't know why. I think he looks like he's got like a six-pack. Like, he looks ripped.
Yo,
For
that
no
cat is
good reason.
jacked.
But this is how he normally looks on the back.
Okay, just like a normal
Just
cat.
very cat. So,
Wait,
the story
the
of
front
this-
panel of the cat is giving me the "What's your hear me out" character. But it's
right? Or like, here's you. Here's the cat she tells you not to worry about. Now is like a normal high school kid, and one day he runs in front of a car. He doesn't know why, but he wakes up and he is suddenly in the body of this cat, said cat. And using context clues, I assumed that he saw the cat was about to get hit by a car or something. Was like, I'm gonna go help that cat. They haven't stated that yet, but I'm using context clues. So he wakes up in the body of this cat, and he's like, oh my gosh, I must have died, and now I'm in the body of this cat. And he tries to live the street life thing for a minute, but he ends up getting like really beaten up by these other street cats. And this
it's
girl
giving Oliver and
who's-
Company.
Yeah, it's very much minus Disney. So this girl shows up and she's like, oh my gosh, this poor cat. And she like kind of cleans him off, tries to help him a little bit. And he's like, oh my gosh, I don't know what's happening. I'm scared because he just got the crap beat out of him by a bunch of other
So wait,
cats.
does he know he's been like? Does he realize that he's like in a cat body? I assume because he's smaller.
Yeah, so he realizes from the jump that he is now a cat. Like, he,
And he's just like cool.
So, yeah, it opens with him being like, oh my gosh, I got hit by a car. And then he's like, hey, I'm not in any pain. I can see and I can move. What's going on? And then he walks by a reflective glass. Like, he walks by a window and he's like, oh crap, I'm a cat. So he knows from the get-go that he's a cat. And this girl like helps him out and he runs away and he's like, or no, she ends up having to run to school. That's what it was. She has to run away to go to school. And he's like, oh, she's got my school uniform on. I guess we went to school together. And he realizes that she dropped her wallet. And he's like, oh my gosh, I should bring it back to her. She was like really nice to me. She got me something to eat. And he follows her and ends up like putting it in her mailbox. And she realizes he's outside her house like a couple days later, and she ends up bringing him inside.
Aww.
Not knowing that he's a student. She's like, oh, this poor cat, I'm going to take care of him. So he's thankful to be off the streets, but also he's like, I gotta figure out how to get out of this cat. I gotta figure out what happened to me. And eventually he gets kind of like a little cold and she has to take him to the vet. So he's like trying to use this as his opportunity to get away because she left the door open once, or like a window, and he got out. And ever since then, she's been really good about like checking the doors and windows. And even though he's sick, he's like looking around when he's going to the vet, and he's like, I gotta get out of here. And they drive by a hospital on their way to the vet, and he looks in the hospital window and he sees his body in a wheelchair, fully conscious, and just like sitting there. So he's like, oh my gosh, is the cat in my body? Did we do like a body swap?
A Freaky Friday.
Yeah, but with a cat. So he's trying to figure out what's going on, and that's what the story is. One thing I really do like about it, she like the stylization makes me think of like old school manga from like the early
big
2000s.
eyes, like very like a round, but it's like a rounder face. Unless I feel like because the 90s, I feel like was super pointy facey, but these are just like a softer face but huge eyes.
Yeah, it makes me think of like early 2000s.
Okay, yeah,
like 2001-ish kind of stuff. From when I was in Yield, like early middle school days. And yeah, it's so cutie. Like, look at that.
Oh, it's super cutie.
I love them. But the only complaint that I have is every chapter starts out with him being like, hey, I got hit by a car, and now I'm a cat, and I'm going to figure out what's going on. And I'm sure it's because it was like in a serialization.
Like a Jump like magazine or something, yeah.
And I get that because you want to bring in other readers who might not have picked up the volume where your number one was in. But at the same time, like, it doesn't need to be in every single beginning of the chapter for the manga. Literally every one from chapter 2 on, it was at the beginning of every single chapter. And I was like, okay, I know. I get it. Thank you.
We know.
I know you got hit by a cat. Thanks for talking about yourself again.
You got hit by a cat.
You got hit by the cat bus. No wonder you're a cat, loser.
Oh my god.
Get catted, loser.
Get catted. Got cat. Okay. I think... what do I do? Okay. I'm gonna do this one next. Okay. So, this one is called Sweat and Soap.
I've heard of this one.
Probably me. This is another one where I feel like I read this because I thought it was a joke. There's like a trend, I think, where I see something and I'm like, that looks funny. It looks satirical. I'm gonna read it. Also, like, the front cover, like, it looks super creepy, actually. Like, he's got his head on her shoulder. She looks in distress. She's like, she's sweaty in the front too, like, you know, whatever. He's like grabbing her hands. Is she aroused? Is she scared? Is she scare-roused? Who knows? Scare-roused. So I'll read the back of this one too. So, Asuko's living her dream, working at it says toiletry maker Lila Drop. So it's like they make perfumes and soaps and stuff like that. But she has a secret. The reason she loves the company so much is that she's ashamed of her body odor, and their soap is the only thing that's ever helped her. So when the company's lead product developer, a perfuming genius, approaches her in the lobby and wonders, what's that smell? She's terrified. But could it be that he likes her? And most surprising of all, does she like him back? I think it kind of gets into it in the beginning, but basically, he loves the way that she smells. Like, he is obsessed with how she smells, and she's like, no, I'm disgusting. Please, I am... I'm sorry for using this word, but I am moist. I smell bad. Do not come near me. Please stop smelling me. And he's like, no, I've had such a stressful day today. Can I please smell you? It helps me relax.
No wonder you thought that this was parody.
I know, but it is actually really cute. Like, it ends up being such a cute story. I feel like when you find your person, they're they can be smelly, but you get used to their scent, and it kind of starts off like that. The scent leads him to her in a way. Like, she perspires a lot, and like I think she does like medicated like deodorants and like everything, and they don't help. But like she like even wears like padding under her armpit. She like brings an extra change of shirt to work. I can't remember if this was wrapped. It has some like pseudo spicy moments where like she's like, I've never done this before, sort of thing, which again like she wouldn't have because she's like so self-conscious about her smell and stuff. But then he's like, I want to take you out on a date, and at first she like thinks it's a joke, but she's like all self-conscious, and he kind of like helps her get through her anxieties about her sweat. And then like he tries to create a perfume scent or like a soap scent that like embodies how he interprets her smell, and then she gets to smell it herself, and like she's like, oh my gosh, this smells so good, like I can't believe like this is like how you see me, but like how you smell me.
Yeah.
And I hate to like say it though because I feel like it ruins it, but it's really good. I've got 11 volumes that I have my eyes on. There might be a 12th one. The series is finished. Like I said, I really enjoyed it, even though the name is weird. I have made other people read this because I really liked the angle that the romance took with it. I was like looking through the back because I feel like for this publisher, okay, it is. I was right. So there's another book that I'm going to talk about is by the same publisher. So that kind of like explains why I have a type. So I really like it. That one was Sweat and Soap.
I've heard of that one, and I like people recommend it all the time. Like I see it in like not super frequently, but I've definitely seen it more than once. And that was one of those ones where I was like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" Okay.
Well, this one I think I saw because I was at a Barnes & Noble perusing where I don't need to be perusing because I've got so many manga at home, right? And like it was in the suggested romance section, and I was like, really? I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah, right. I take this as a challenge.
Truly.
So my next book is a romance, and we're kicking it back to high school. And I don't want to butcher this. I think it's I'm a Koi. Now I'm in love. Please, somebody correct me. I don't know.
Look, that's what IMAKOI.
Yeah.
Imakoi?
Imakoi, I'm a Koi. I feel like I'm a Koi sounds weird. But basically, so these are our two main characters. I'll read the back to you, as you have done.
Oh, okay.
After missing out on love because she was too shy to confess her feelings, high school student Satomi blurts out how she feels the next time she gets a crush, and it's to her impossibly handsome schoolmate, oh my gosh.
I'm so sorry. I set you up for this. I read through all of mine.
Fine. Like, this is one of those things where I, like, read them in my head, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds fine.
Yeah.
I just have not seen this name before in another media. YAGYU.
YAGYU. I can't read unless I can see the word.
Yagyu? That sounds kind of right.
We'll skip the reading of the back. It's okay.
Yeah. So, to her surprise, he agrees to date her. Now that Satomi is suddenly in a relationship, what's next? Given how fast everything happens, Satomi is still clueless about how dating is supposed to work. How will she forge ahead in her relationship with him? So he saves her one morning on the train. There's like this pervert who's like getting too close to her, and he steps in and saves her. Yeah. And she's really excited and wants to thank him. And he's like, no, look, I would have done this for anybody. Like, I'm just trying to be nice. You know, like,
no, you're not special, honey.
Yeah, like, not in a mean way.
No, but yeah.
Like, I'm not. It's
I'm
not
not why I saved
anything.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. And she wants to thank him, and she remembers that she won this contest where she got, like, a dinner, basically. And she's like, hey, I should ask him if he wants to go to dinner with me to thank him.
How convenient.
And she kind of does, and he's like, nah, I don't want to really do that. Like, I'm not doing that. Like I said, I didn't do this to get something out of it. Like, I'm just trying to be a nice dude. And she's like, no, but I want to actually get to know you. Like, you seem like a nice person. And he's like, oh, okay. Like, that kind of takes him aback. And so it, like, from the get-go, they start dating. Like, this is that's the thing that I really liked about this manga. There wasn't like a will they, won't they. It was like they are dating within the first couple chapters. And from my understanding, the whole story, like, I think this is a 12 volume, it's the story of their relationship and like how it evolves and their dealings with each other's friends and everything, because his best friend is kind of like a jerk when they first start dating, and he's like, he would have done that for anyone, you're not special, like he literally says that to her.
And she's like,
And
I know.
yeah, she's like, yeah, I know, I appreciated the thought, like, what do you want from me? And her friend is more upfront than her. And her friend is like, yeah, he would have done it for anyone, would you? Like, she's very confrontational.
But
yeah,
like,
I like her friend.
Okay, but like that's the point though, right? It's like the fact that he would have done it for
Right?
anyone like proves that he's a good guy, which is like her whole point, right?
Yeah. And they have like, there's already some really cute little moments between them in this, and it's only the first volume, so I'm really interested. I'm trying to find something that's not like
Sounds like that
spoilery.
boy was jealous.
Right. So like she's just so cute. Look at this girl.
Aww. She
Yeah,
also
I
has
just
big
I
old
really
eyes.
Oh, here, look. Like, he's very serious and like he's kind of like, I don't want to say scary looking, but like intimidating. He's very intimidating
Yeah.
looking, and she's like so cutesy and small looking and everything. So I'm excited to see, like, I love this back art of them.
Oh, the back art's cute. Yeah, for sure.
It kind of makes me think of Toro and Kyo, but like more serious, I guess, than Toro and Kyo. But I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm definitely buying more of that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I was going to say, do you know how many are currently out?
I want to say it is, I think it's done, and I want to say there are 12. I think this is a 12er,
feel
but I
like
could be incredibly
12
wrong.
is such a sweet spot for like
It
manga
really
series.
is.
They're like, if you're going to go past 12, you got to commit and go like to the 40s. But if you're like,
Oops.
you want to handle a story, you've got 12 to do it.
Hang on, I'm getting it up right now.
Actually, I think...
Oh, I can only see 9 on Goodreads.
Okay. Interesting.
And to my knowledge, it is done. So that
Oh.
should be 9 is probably the last volume.
Okay.
So like a quick read.
Yeah. Okay, so for my next one, I think I'm going to pick something fun. Yeah, okay. This one for sure. Okay, so this one is called Kiss Him, Not Me. I'll share with the class.
Oh, thanks.
Super cute.
We love it.
Okay, so basically, I'm trying to think of how to explain this one. So I can show in the back. So in the back, you can see there's 2 girls. Well, it's actually the same girl, and one is just like a little chunkier than the other, and wears glasses and all of that. But basically, this story is about a fujoshi. And so if you don't know what that means, it's basically a girl who is interested in BL, as one is, right? So basically she has a favorite character in a show that she watches. And
As one does.
as one does. And okay, wait, sorry, I had to stop myself. So she's like, oh my gosh, a prince with another prince? And she's like sweating and she's so excited about it. And I'm just like, honestly, same.
Relatable content.
She's like, in this next panel, she's like, Lord, thank you for giving me this daily bread. Because, like, there's 2 boys, like, playing basketball next to each other really closely. And
get this bread.
this daily bread. Okay, so then, like, that was, like, her school day. It kind of starts off whatever. It kind of, like, intros all of the, like, you know, soon-to-be love interests unbeknownst to the readers, right? So she gets home, she's watching her favorite show that I mentioned earlier, and her favorite character dies. She is devastated. Her world rocked. Like, she's got, like, she's got the pillowcase, she's got the, like, posters. Whenever there's, like, pop-up events, she is there at the opening to get all the merch for this character. Total otaku, respectfully. That is her. So her favorite character dies, and she's devastated. She locks herself in her room for weeks, and she's, like, no, like, she's, like, not eating. She's not, like, taking care of herself.
Reasonable reaction.
Totally reasonable reaction. So, basically, because she's in her room for so long, not eating, when her mom is finally like, get out of bed, go to school, get over it. And I think her brother helps her mom, like, kind of like wake her up. Well, they finally break down her door to her room, open the door, and now she is this, like, stunning, typical, like, reverse harem looking manga girl.
Yeah.
And she's like, what's the issue? And then she's like, my mirror is broken. Something is wrong. I don't know who that is. She, like, does not even recognize herself, because of, like, how much she changed by just, like, her being locked in her room for weeks. Her clothes don't fit anymore, but she finally goes to school, and, like, the boys at school are like, who's the new girl? And she's like, what do you mean I'm Kay? And so, like, all the boys that we kind of met in the beginning are, like, coming back and, like, acting differently around her. It goes total reverse harem. It starts off with 4 boys. 2 of the boys are kind of, like, sport boys. One boy here pictured on the cover, he's holding a rose. He's, like, the sweet, like, pseudo-nerdy one. Like, they were in, like, art club together or something. The other one, I think, is maybe the class president, and I think he helped her to the nurse's office when she got a nosebleed during gym class from watching boys play basketball. So it's kind of like, that's, like, the premise. I'll say, as it goes on, and I've got 14 volumes of this, I assume that's all of them, a 5th love interest is introduced to the mix, and it is a girl from another school who cosplays. She cosplays, so she dresses as men characters, and she also, like, does, like, different, I think she's also a mangaka on the side. And so, like, you get some, they're not saucy scenes, because it's basically these 2 girls, like, fawning over the boys, but, like, the boys don't want to leave the girl alone with their girl, because they finally see her as a threat. And so she's like, fine, you can help us then. And they're like, okay. And so she, like, persuades them to come over and, like, get into, like, typical BL situation so that she can draw them. And then the 2 girls are just there with, like, nosebleeds, like, I can't believe they're letting you do this. Like, it's so funny. So, oh my gosh. And at one point, like, her mom, like, tries to wear makeup because, like, her daughter is, like, finally, you know, like, stereotypically pretty, and she's like, Mom, what are you doing? But anyway, it's got 14 volumes. There is a satisfying ending. She does pick a person to be with, and it goes kind of, like, into their romance just a little bit. For a while, honestly, I did not think she was going to pick a guy, because all of these guys are constantly fawning over her, and the only thing she can think about is how she wants the boys to be together, not with her. Yeah, hold on, I'll read the back. So it's, like, little voice bubbles of her talking. I'll do it quickly. Hi there, my name is Kay. I'm the kind of girl who loves checking out boys and fantasizing about them getting friendly and more with each other. I'm what you might call a fujoshi. One day, my beloved favorite anime character died, and the shock of it all was more than I could have ever prepared for. My grief in his passing resulted in some ridiculous weight loss, and you won't believe what happened next. Soon after my change, the 4 most divine, gorgeous boys in my school asked me out on dates. Weird. I accepted them all. And you'd think I'd be happy with my sudden popularity, but the truth is, my heart only yearns for a prince to be next to his prince. Ah, yes, boys, I'd much prefer that you turn your affections elsewhere and kiss him, not me. Title of the manga.
They did it. They said the title, end screen.
Close. So, that one's a fun one. I don't know. I maybe read this one because I thought it was going to be, I won't say satirical. It pretty much reads how you think it would read, but this is another one, like, I picked it up because it seemed like it was going to be a fun read. And it was.
I'm surprised that just based off the title alone that she eventually picks one of the guys.
I was concerned because, like, I love a satisfying ending, and so I was like, not that I would have been sad. Like, honestly, if all the boys just ended up with each other, like, through trying to court this girl together, they realized their true fact. Honestly, I'd have been okay with that.
Yeah, and she would have too.
She would have too. She'd have been like, go off.
Yeah, she'd been like, I'm here if you need me. I'm here for the support.
Honestly. And I think there's an anime for this one as well.
There is. I haven't seen episodes, but I've heard of it.
Yeah. So if you're not into reading manga, you've done a great job of getting this far into the podcast. There is an anime for this one if you're interested and don't want to read the manga.
All right, so my last three are ones that I did not read, but I bought in the sale. And one of them I've seen the anime of, at least, so I can at least speak to that.
Yeah.
So the next one is Marriage Toxin, and I bought it specifically because I liked this cover. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
The cover reminds me of, like, the art style for, like, the intro to Zom 100, because it's kind of, like, little splotches of, like, different colors, which I think is
and
maybe
the back's
blood.
got a little bit of that, too.
Is that supposed to be blood, do you think? Because I like when they do that. Like, when they do, like, it looks like
might
paint, but it's
be.
really blood.
So, I'll read some of the back. Oh, that's funny. Sorry, I didn't realize his first name because I haven't, like, actually read the book yet. Poison Master Hikaru is taking on his toughest assignment yet, getting married. His Garo? Yeah, I think that's his last name. Garo couldn't be more clueless when it comes to dating, but thankfully, marriage swindler May knows everything there is to know about love. Together, this unlikely pair will do whatever it takes to get Garo hitched, even if they have to take on the entire criminal underworld in the process. As a deadly assassin from the Poison Clan, Garo swears he'll never settle down. That is, until the family orders his sister to produce an heir to the Poison Clan's... Yeah, I've read this out of order. Refusing to let his sister abandon her chance at true love with her girlfriend, Garo desperately turns to marriage swindler May for relationship advice. Can May turned this trained killer into a charming husband-to-be?
Ooh,
So,
okay.
like,
I love the LGBTQ aspect of it and, like, the
Right?
full-on support of, like, I don't want to ever get married, but if I don't, I'm basically going to ruin my sister's life.
Right.
So guess I better buckle down.
So, like, just flipping through it's got, like, a rough kind of vibe to it. Like, look at this. This guy is apparently called the Bug Master. Look at this man. Like, obviously looks like a villain.
Okay, yeah, that was a centipede on his head.
It's like a scar of a centipede.
A centipede-shaped scar on his
Look at
head.
it.
Oh. You know what? I don't know if that makes me feel better or worse. Like, I almost wish it was a real centipede. That just, like, a pet centipede that just kind of, like, casually crawled on him. I think I would like that more.
Mm-hmm. Like, just looking at it, though, I'm very into the art. It's very, like, it's very action-y. It's not, like, dark or anything.
You know what the
It's
action
not
photos kind of
scary.
remind me of? And I don't know if you've read this one. I know that you are familiar with it, but Spy Family. That is, like, kind of the
Yes.
style of, like, action scenes that is in Spy Family.
It kind of, like, this art specifically, the one I'm about to show you, makes me think of My Hero, like
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
specifically.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm really interested to see where this goes, and I will let you know if I plan on continuing reading it. I mean, it seems like the premise alone is really interesting.
I like
So
it. It seems like it might be cute, creepy, which is, like, kind of up my alley. So
Right? We're all on the same page here.
yeah. So let me
I have
know.
two picks left.
Okay.
By the way, I got two.
All right,
left.
I've got 3, so I'm gonna keep. Oh no, I've been attacked. No. Oh no, I've been attacked.
Bear attack.
Brutal. So which one do I want to do next? Okay, so on the topic of BL, I'm gonna go with this one, which is another one that I saw at Barnes and Noble, and I thought it was satire.
And I remember Mim talked about this one in our episode with her.
Yeah, this one is called, I've just been calling this Cherry Magic, and I keep forgetting that there's
Read the full
full title.
legal name.
Its full legal name
government.
is Cherry Magic with an exclamation point, and then the little bottom of the exclamation point is a heart. 30 years of virginity can make you a wizard.
As it should.
Yeah. So I'll read the back. Magically, it's complicated. After hitting the big 3-0 while still a virgin, office drone Adachi discovers he can use magic. But this troublesome new skill, like Adachi himself, is fairly unremarkable. It allows him to read the minds of whomever he touches, or touches him. One day, when he accidentally works his magic on Kurosawa, his very competent, handsome colleague, Adachi discovers Kurosawa has a raging crush on none other than Adachi himself. With zero romantic experience to fall back on, will Kurosawa's burning passion send Adachi running for the hills? And then it's got little drawing here and it says clean cut hottie, arrow, 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 heart, virgin with self-esteem issues.
So, like, does he have to maintain the contact? Or, like, if
yes,
somebody
so
touches him, do they have to continuously?
as soon as the contact is broken, the ability to read minds ends. So, okay. I don't think I shared the cover with the YouTube viewers. But yeah, to the point of the back, they really hit all the points. Is that this guy? He's got self-esteem issues. He's never been with anyone before, and then his like very handsome coworker that all the ladies in the office have crushes on, like has this super duper crush on him. And honestly, like he can read this dude's mind whenever he touches him. So like he's like, oh, I need help with something. Handsome coworker comes over, touches his shoulder, and is like trying to help him with something. Meanwhile, handsome coworker can't keep his thoughts straight. He's like, oh man, he's so cute today, blah, blah, blah. And little mind reader boy's like, my magic must be glitching because there's no way this guy has a crush on me. And
aw, sad day, sad day.
So he like kind of goes back and forth between like, there's no way this dude has a crush on me, and like, holy crap, like this dude has a crush on me, nervous. And then it evolves to like, the self-esteem issues are deep. And then it evolves to like, you know, whenever he like stops touching him, like he's like, oh no, how does he feel about me? And it's actually one of his fears, like as they like start to develop, you know, romantic interest in each other. He's like, oh, if I lose my virginity, then I'm not going to be able to hear his thoughts anymore. How am I going to know? And so like it does build up his self-esteem, like being able to read his, you know, coworker's mind, because at so many points he's like, it's giving him confidence to express his feelings, because it seems like he's being vulnerable to the other person, but in reality he's not, because he already knows what they're thinking. So it's really cute. I've got up through volume 10. They're still releasing. I'm gonna spoil it, because I think it's pretty obvious, right? Like, they do end up getting married. They're very serious about each other. And so after the marriage, there's still 2 more volumes. So they really get into, like, their lives after getting married. But it talks about, you know, it goes through, like, them introducing each other to their parents and how they take it and stuff. So it's really cute. This is one where I'm like, some of it might be wrapped, but it's not like super explicit. It's just like very clear what's happening in the scene.
Yeah.
But again, like, I picked this one up. I thought it was gonna be a joke, and it ended up being so cute. And now 2 of my examples where I thought it was gonna be a joke, but it's such a pure romance.
There's an underlying theme here.
Again, Cherry Magic, 30 years of virginity can make you a wizard. Oh, I was going to add, too. So, my virgin wizard, he has a buddy who turns 30 in the series. I'm hoping he gets a spinoff because he also develops mind-reading powers.
Oh.
And he has a crush on the delivery guy, like his Amazon delivery guy or whatever. And, like, the delivery guy has a passion for dancing, but he gave it up, and he's, like, trying to help him get back into dancing, and he's supporting him. Aww. And he's like, oh, I know this is never going to go anywhere, but then he turns 30, can read minds, and he's like, maybe it can, I don't know. So I'm hoping when they finish this, they get a spinoff, because I think they're cute, too. I'll add, this came out in anime recently. And there is also a live, like a real people one. What do they call it? It's not like live action. Is it still live action?
Yeah.
There's no action?
I mean, to my knowledge.
I mean, there's some action. but like wink. But yeah, so they did the manga, then they did the live action, and then the anime recently started coming out, I believe. So lots of options with this one. It obviously took off. It's very popular now. Didn't realize that when I started reading it that it was going to be so popular. I haven't had a chance to watch the animes, but yeah, manga was really good. So I imagine if they did a live action and an anime, that whatever content they created did well enough to keep producing more content on it. So recommend.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. I've never heard of that one as a manga. I mean, yeah, as a manga, as you're showing it to my face. As an anime, I never made that. I've never heard of the thing directly in front of my face. So my next pick is one of the ones that I haven't read this yet, but this is the one that I've seen the anime for. It's Bocchi the Rock.
Ooh, Bocchi!
Bocchi. So for those who aren't, I didn't even notice on the back of this. Okay, sorry. Hitori Goto just wants to be popular, but the thought of interacting with her classmates makes her fall into pieces. Her solution? Become a rock legend so cool that people approach her instead. However, while spending all of her middle school in her closet shredding on the guitar may have earned her anonymous internet fame, it did nothing for her social skills. Now a high schooler, Hitori's feelings are ready to shrivel up and die when she when she gets a sudden request to fill in for a band. It's like her wish came true. But does this most anxious of introverts have what it takes to perform in front of a live audience? So she starts out in they have there's like a little bit of color.
Oh, cutie.
I always like when they have at least like a little bit of color pages.
Oh yeah.
But her family is into music and stuff, and she ends up getting a guitar and starts playing. And like the back of the book said, she originally starts out in her closet and she's performing, but you only see like her hands, you never see her face. So she has this really good internet not relationship,
following?
Reputation, following. I wanted to say like relationship 6 times. She has a really good following on the internet, but nobody knows what she looks like. So she has difficulties like performing in front of other people, as it says. So she's trying to use this as a way to, make more friends and things like that. And she ends up as part of a band of these girls that are her age. One of their sister is the manager of like one of those underground clubs in Japan, and her sister will let them play, but they have to work like the concession and stuff like that. Oh. And in order to help Bocchi get over her stage fright, she performs in a box.
Oh my god.
Like they cut little armholes out, and you see Bocchi will be standing there in said box, and she looks like, Snake from Metal Gear Solid, like
okay,
popping up.
Now I need to watch that so that I can cosplay as her in the box.
Right? So, my favorite part of the anime is like she'll go on like a mental tangent. Like obviously it's in her head, nobody else can see it, and the animation style will change. So it'll, like, I remember one thing was like stop motion and stuff like that, and I was flipping through this like, oh, did they do anything weird like that in the manga? And it's a 4-panel, so I wasn't expecting anything crazy, but they'll do stuff where like her hair, like she's freaking out and her hair's like coming out of the panel.
So it's 4-panel, but they're not afraid to go outside of the 4-panel rules.
Yeah, and then they'll be like how this page has these, or 3-panel, not 4-panel. No, 4-panel. What am I talking about? It'll have like a page like this where there's a little bit, but then they'll have a big picture at the top. Like they have stuff like that, which is really cute. Here's another one where they're all sitting at like a little table together and they're ghosties.
Cuties.
Yeah, and it's not anything serious, but this is the back, and this has more than... It's like a traditional style.
So her in that shirt, I actually got that shirt from my husband for Christmas.
Oh yeah, he loves it, doesn't he? He loves Bocchi.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and here's another example. There's like blood squirting on the page.
Oh yeah, it's like little blood splatter on it. It's cute.
Yeah, so it goes outside of the box a little bit, and like when she's panicking, they'll draw her like this sometimes.
Oh, she's like all wiggly lined and panicky looking. Yeah.
Oh, and here's like this is on the last thing. It's like they pulled the box off of her to make her perform.
Aw.
Uh, but it's a slice of life. It's a 4 panel. It's nothing like do or die. But
Mm-hmm.
Bochi makes everything do or die. Like just leaving her room and
Aw.
having people over her house is a huge deal for her. So seeing her progress throughout the series is going to be interesting. I don't know how many volumes are out of Bochi. I haven't looked into that before, but obviously
Enough
it's
to
out
have
there,
a whole anime series out, right?
right?
Yeah. Okay, cool. You'll have to let me know how it is. I think my husband actually bought some of them, but hasn't. It's like in his extensive TBR, which I can't talk because I also have an extensive TBR.
We all, and then there's like graphic novels and other books on top of that. It just never ends.
Yeah. I don't know that I think I explained it to you once, but basically like I've got shelves I'm in a closet right now. I've got shelves on either side of my closet that are full of manga that I've read. And they're supposed to just be my completed series, like the series that I've started that are done that I don't need to acquire any more manga of. Then I've got another shelf in my office that is manga that I've read that is an ongoing series. So if I need to know like what the next volume I need is, it's on this shelf. Then I've got a TBR in my bedroom, which is my like this is stuff that I need to read next for sure because it's either a series I've already started or a new series that I bought that I'm like really interested in. Then downstairs in our living room, we have our like extended TBR slash collectors mangas, like mangas that we bought because we like maybe read them online but wanted to have the hard copies, like
Yeah.
JJK or Chainsaw Man or like some other series, or we have like our big hardcover copies of like Berserk and like some of the like bigger stuff downstairs. So I've got like a lot. But okay, so I'm gonna jump into my next one. So we did Girl Obsessed with Boy Love, switch to Boy Love. Next one I'm doing is another BL. This one's like a high school romance. This one I feel like is hard to explain because the names are so similar. It's called My Love Mix-Up. I'll start. So Akoi has a crush on Hashimoto, the girl that sits next to him in class. But he despairs when he borrows her eraser and sees she's written the name of another boy, Ida, on it. To make matters more confusing, Ida sees him holding that very eraser and thinks Akoi has a crush on him. So he doesn't correct the boy. He knows that the boy saw that he has the eraser. He doesn't correct him because he's trying to protect, like, he thinks that the girl has a crush on the boy as well. He's trying to protect her feelings. So she's like, please don't tell anyone, blah, blah, blah. So then this boy thinks that he has a crush on this other boy. And instead of being like, ew, you have a crush on me, gross, he's like, oh, you have a crush on me? This is something that I should seriously consider. I will give it time. I promise I will be fair to you.
So sweet. What
It's
a nice boy.
it's super sweet, and like they do school plays and it's all cute, but like basically it's like will he develop feelings, but then it's like will either of them develop true feelings for the other, and so like they're kind of like slowly falling for each other, but like different like paces and different speeds, and there's back and forth, and I think there's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 or 10 of these out. And I think it's done, but like I think they get to the point where they're like going off to college. So
How cute.
this is a cute, innocent, sweet BL slow burn sort of one. And then I'm gonna hop into
Oh,
the
I got one more.
oh okay, yeah, you go.
All right, so I have last one. I haven't read this. My husband read this one. It's called New Game. This girl, she's an adult, contrary to how she looks. So it says a gamer girl's dream job. She may look like a middle schooler, but she's actually fresh out of high school and starting a new job on the character team of a game company. Not only is she working for the company that put out one of her favorite games, she also gets to spend her days modeling and creating characters. Follow her adorable shenanigans in this 4-panel slice of life as she learns the ropes of the industry and gets to know her coworkers. So I just thought this would be really interesting, and my husband enjoyed it. The pages look like this art looks so crisp.
Ooh, it's like they really good printer quality.
Yeah, I was so surprised. And it is a 4-panel, like nothing crazy, but I'm just really interested to see like it's very rare that you get to like read about adults doing adult job things and stuff like that. So I thought that was interesting. And I have friends that work in the gaming industry here in America, so I thought it'd be interesting also to read about like in Japan and my knowledge of like how the anime industry works and kind of compare those and see that. And I just think it looks really neat and cute. You know, it looks like one of those ones where you can read it and turn your brain off and not have to think big, heavy thoughts.
Love that.
And that's my last one.
Okay, I have one more. So I'm pulling an Audible. I had another one up here that I want to talk about, but this one I want to do it justice and spend a little bit longer talking about it, I think. Maybe I'll do a TikTok on it. Or in the next time we do this, we can talk about it. And instead, I'll talk about this manga here that I read recently. I only have one of it. I saw it at Barnes & Noble. And I was like, that looks funny. It looks like a bit, and I love a bit. Mm-hmm, it is My Lovesick Life as a 90s Otaku.
Right in the heart.
Right in the heart, right. Okay, so I'll read the back
Except
really quickly.
I was, like, literally a child in the 90s,
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'll read the back. When otaku were outcasts, otaku culture has finally become mainstream. Tell me about it.
Word.
And Megumi can't quite get used to it. So this is like the mom in the series. Divorced with a teen daughter, Megumi thinks fondly back to her days as an anime and manga otaku in the year 1995. That year, she transferred to a new school and decided to start fresh by hiding her otaku interests. She found herself taken under the wing of a basketball ace named Masamune, who's got a kind heart and looks just like one of her favorite characters. Though Megumi catches a whiff of destiny in the air, she's crushed to learn that Masamune detests otakus. Oh. So basically the girl, she's got an otaku daughter, but like her daughter is like popular, despite, I have it in air quotes here, despite being an otaku. And she's like, I just don't understand. If I'd have dressed like that, if I'd have like shared all of the things that I liked back in the day, I had no friends. Like, this is great for her, but I simply don't understand it. It makes no sense to me. And then, like I said, in the back, like there's a basketball boy that like kind of takes her under his wing. He's also, I think, president of their class. He like gives her a ride home one day, and they're like talking about like the latest Jump series that, you know, they were both reading or whatever. And they're having a really cute moment, and she's like, oh, maybe I can finally like share who I am. And then she goes, well, what do you think of otaku? And he is like smiling, grinning, and he's like, I despise them. And she's devastated. And, this is the tale of my quest to lift the otaku curse is kind of what it says next. And as you read, we kind of like find out at the end, like the reason he hates otakus is because he has two siblings at home, and the siblings, he ends up taking care of them because his mother is like a deep otaku, like won't leave the TV. He has to cook for them and kind of help them and stuff. So that's kind of why. This is just the first one. There were a couple more at Barnes & Noble. I wish I would have picked them up. I'm stupid. I will be acquiring more because I thought this was really good. Also, because this is kind of niche in the way that it's like specifically around like 90s otaku life, it has a ton of like translation notes in the back.
Oh, nice.
Because it's got like a bunch of like references to like animes and mangas that came out in the 90s. Yeah. And so, like, it talks about Slam Dunk. It talks about a bunch of other ones as well. But it goes through, so, like, if at any point you're confused about the reference, it details it in the back. Like, there's nice. 3 pages worth of, like, notes to where if you don't understand something or, like, that's clearly a reference that I don't get, it fills you in. Because there's no way you're going to read something niche like this. Or not, there's no way. There's a slim chance that if you read something like this, you're going to catch every little thing. So maybe read the back first. I should have done that. But anyway, because she's divorced, we don't know if this story is about her finding, like, someone else. We don't know if, like, she finds out later in life that she should have picked the basketball. We have no idea, right? It's just the first volume. We know she's divorced. We're now getting into this love story about the basketball player. We don't know if he's the baby daddy. We don't know anything. Yeah. But it was cute. It was funny. I enjoyed it. I'm going to pick up more. This is a good read for me. She's also got like this cute little tooth thing in her like younger form. Aww. You know, like the one little tooth, really cute. So,
yeah, the little fang.
Yeah, the little So, okay, that was, those are my picks. Like I said, I've got more. I could talk for hours on this, but that is for another podcast.
And this is one of those things, guys, like, don't feel bad that we bought these. Well, I bought mine on sale.
I
And I
also
mean,
bought mine on
like,
sale.
Crunchyroll has sales, Barnes and Noble has sales. You can check with your local library. They have library, like in library, they have the manga, but also my library has Hoopla,
Hmm.
which is, it's got comics, it's got cookbooks, it's got manga, it's got, regular magazines, and you can get really far if you've got a library card. Arthur Reed library card.
Yeah, thanks everyone for listening. I second what T
Yeah.
said. Like, follow, subscribe on YouTube. Check us out on TikTok. We do more manga reviews, kind of one off here there on our TikTok as well.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we post them to Instagram. Follow us there. We've got a Discord with a chat about what to watch anime, what to read manga, video games, everything. Join our Discord, link in bio. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, join your local library, everyone. And thanks for joining us
Absolutely.
today.
Yep, we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.